20 black Mercedes-Benzes line the street outside Mercy General Hospital like a funeral procession, except everyone inside is very much alive and terrified. Naomi watches from the pharmacy window, her heart stuttering as men in dark suits step out in perfect synchronization. She knows why they're here, knows who sent them. She just doesn't know if she's about to be saved or destroyed. 72 hours earlier, the fluorescent lights of the 24-hour pharmacy buzz like dying insects at 3 a.m. Naomi's been on her feet for 14 hours, a double shift at the hospital cafeteria, then straight here for her night job stocking shelves. Her lower back screams with every movement, but she doesn't stop. Can't stop. The electricity bill is due tomorrow, and her landlord already slipped an eviction notice under her door. She's restocking aspirin when the man stumbles through the automatic doors. He's Korean, maybe early 30s, wearing a suit that probably costs more than her monthly rent. Blood soaks through his white dress shirt, spreading like spilled wine across expensive fabric. He makes it 3 steps before his knees buckle. Naomi's beside him before her brain catches up to her body. "Sir? Sir, can you hear me?" Her fingers find his pulse. Freddie, weak. His skin is cold and clammy. The night pharmacist, Jerry, peers over the counter. "Should I call 911? The man's eyes snap open, dark, fierce, struggling to focus. His hand shoots out, gripping Naomi's wrist with surprising strength. "No police," he rasps in accented English. "No hospital. You're bleeding. You need, no." His grip tightens. "Please." Something in his voice, desperation wrapped in command, makes Naomi hesitate. She's seen this before, growing up in Atlanta. People who couldn't trust hospitals, couldn't trust police. People living in the margins where one wrong move meant deportation or worse. "Jerry, give me the first aid kit. And grab antibiotics, the amoxicillin, and bandages." "Naomi, we can't. Please." She meets Jerry's eyes. "Just this once." Jerry disappears into the back. The man's breathing grows shallower. "Stay with me," Naomi murmurs, carefully lifting his shirt. The wound is a clean slice across his ribs. Knife, not gunshot. Deep but not fatal if treated quickly. "What's your name?" "Jahan." His eyes flutter. "Park Jahan. I'm Naomi. You picked the right pharmacy to collapse in. I trained as an EMT before. Before her mother got sick. Before the medical bills. Before everything fell apart. This is going to hurt." She cleans the wound with steady hands, ignoring how he goes rigid with pain. Jerry returns with supplies, shaking his head, but helping anyway. Naomi works quickly. Butterfly bandages, antibiotic ointment, proper dressing. Not hospital-quality care, but enough to prevent infection. "You need real stitches," she tells Jahan. "And you should see a doctor." "Can't." His color is returning slightly. "How much? For what?" "This. Your help. Name your price." Naomi rocks back on her heels. "I don't want your money. Everyone wants money." His eyes are clearer now, studying her with unnerving intensity. "I want you to not die on my pharmacy floor." She stands, wiping blood from her hands. "That's payment enough." Jerry rings up the medical supplies at the register. $47.83. Naomi pulls out her wallet. Inside, a 20, 2 5s, and some singles. $34 total. The last money she has until Friday's paycheck. She hesitates for only a second before handing it all to Jerry. "I'll owe you the rest." "Naomi, you can't." "I can." She turns back to Jahan, helping him stand. He's taller than she expected, leaning heavily on her shoulder. "Where are you staying? You need to rest." "I'll manage." But he's unsteady, swaying. "There's a hotel 2 blocks down. Can you make it that far?" He nods, but his jaw is tight with pain. Naomi walks him out into the Atlanta night. The summer heat is oppressive even at this hour. She supports most of his weight, feeling how hard he's working to stay upright. At the hotel entrance, he finally pulls away. "Thank you," he says formally. Then, "Your last dollar. You gave me your last dollar. You needed it more." "Why?" The question sounds genuinely confused. "You don't know me." "Because someone helped me once when I needed it," Naomi says softly, remembering the nurse who held her hand when her mother died. "I'm just paying it forward." Jahan stares at her like she's spoken a foreign language. Then he reaches into his jacket. Naomi tenses, but he only pulls out a business card. No name, just a phone number embossed in silver. "If you ever need anything," he says. Call this number. I don't need. Keep it anyway. His eyes hold hers. I pay my debts, Naomi. All of them. He disappears into the hotel lobby. Naomi walks home as dawn breaks, the business card in her pocket. She should throw it away. Should forget this whole strange night. But something tells her that Park Jahan isn't someone you forget. And something tells her their story is just beginning. 3 days later, Naomi's world collapses in the space of a phone call. Miss Williams? This is Atlanta Property Management. We're executing the eviction order. You have until 5 p.m. today to vacate. But I have 3 more days. Your check bounced. The grace period is over. The line goes dead. Naomi stands in the hospital cafeteria kitchen, surrounded by industrial ovens and the smell of institutional meatloaf, trying to remember how to breathe. The check bounced because she used her last money for Jahan's supplies. She knew it would bounce. Did it anyway. You okay? Marcus, the day shift manager, looks concerned. Fine. She forces a smile. Just tired. But she's not fine. She's being evicted. She has $0 in her account. Her next paycheck is 4 days away. And her half-sister Keisha just texted asking for another loan, which means their father's drunk again and Keisha needs bail money. Naomi deletes the message without responding. At 4:30 p.m., she takes the bus to her apartment building in Mechanicsville. The eviction notice is taped to her door, official and damning. She has 30 minutes. She makes it 20 before her landlord arrives with 2 police officers. Time's up, Miss Williams. Naomi carries out what fits in 2 garbage bags. Clothes, photos, her mother's jewelry box. Everything else, the secondhand furniture, the books, the life she's been desperately trying to hold together, stays behind. She sits on the curb as they change the locks, trying to figure out where she sleeps tonight. The women's shelter is full. She called. Marcus said she could crash on his couch, but his wife just had a baby and they don't have space. The business card is still in her wallet. She pulls it out, studies the embossed number. Jahan said if she needed anything. But she can't. She won't. She's not that desperate. Except she is. She's homeless. She's exhausted. And she has nowhere else to turn. She dials before she can change her mind. 1 ring. 2. Yes. The voice is crisp, professional, speaking English with a Korean accent. Not Jahan. My name is Naomi Williams. Park Jahan gave me this number. Address? She rattles it off, confused. Someone will arrive shortly. The line clicks off. Naomi stares at her phone. What did she just do? 20 minutes later, a black Mercedes pulls up. The back door opens. Park Jahan steps out. He's transformed from the bleeding man she helped, now wearing an immaculate charcoal suit, moving with predatory grace. The wound hasn't slowed him at all. Behind him, 3 more black cars arrive in silent procession. Her landlord, still standing by the building entrance, goes pale. You called. Jahan's voice is neutral, but his eyes scan her bags, her face, the eviction notice still taped to the door. Tell me what happened. It's nothing. I shouldn't have. Tell me. Command now, not request. Apartment. No rent for 1 year. After that, we'll discuss reasonable terms. This is insane. This is a debt repaid. He steps closer. You could have walked past me that night. Most people would have. But you didn't hesitate. You gave everything you had to help a stranger. That was different. It was the same. A debt. His eyes hold hers. I always pay what I owe, Naomi. Always. One of his men approaches, speaks quietly in Korean. Jahan's expression hardens. I have to go. Business that can't wait. He pulls out another card, this one with a name. Park Jahan, Import-Export Services. My personal number is on the back. If you need anything, you call immediately. Understood. I can't keep taking, you're not taking. I'm giving. He moves toward his car, then pauses. And Naomi? Thank you. Not just for the medicine. For seeing me as human when I was bleeding on the floor. People in my world don't often do that. The cars pull away in synchronized perfection, leaving Naomi standing on the curb holding a key to an apartment she can actually keep. She doesn't know what kind of business Park Jahan runs. Doesn't know why men in expensive suits follow his orders. Doesn't know why he can buy buildings with a phone call. But she knows he just saved her life the same way she saved his. And she knows, somehow, that this isn't over. The next morning, Naomi wakes in her own bed, the one she thought she'd lost, and wonders if yesterday was a fever dream. Then she sees the envelope slipped under her door. Inside, A letter of employment. Park Jahan's company needs an executive assistant. Salary. 3 times what she makes at both her current jobs combined. Start date, Monday. Her phone rings. Jahan's number. I can't accept this, she says instead of hello. You haven't heard the position details. I don't need charity. It's not charity. I need someone I trust. Someone who sees people, not opportunities. His voice is serious. My world is complicated, Naomi. Dangerous. I need someone beside me who remembers I'm human. What exactly do you do, Jahan? Silence. Then, I run an import-export business connecting Korea and the United States. Some of it is legal. Much of it operates in gray areas. I manage territories, negotiate deals, and handle problems that can't be solved through official channels. You're telling me you're a criminal. I'm telling you I'm honest about what I am. That's more than most people in my position would offer. He exhales. You asked for truth. That's the truth. If you want nothing more to do with me, I understand. The apartment is still yours. No strings. Naomi sits on her bed, thinking. She should say no. Should stay far away from whatever world Park Jahan inhabits. But he's been nothing but honest. Nothing but honorable. And God help her, she needs this opportunity. Needs the money, the stability, the chance at something more than drowning. I want to meet your people first, she says. If I'm working for you, I need to understand what I'm walking into. Tomorrow, noon, I'll send a car. The restaurant is in Buckhead, the kind of place where the menu has no prices. Jahan waits in a private room with 4 other Korean men, all watching her with varying degrees of skepticism. This is Naomi Williams, Jahan says in English. She saved my life 3 days ago. She's considering joining our organization. One man, older, sharp-eyed, speaks rapid Korean. Jahan's response is firm, almost sharp. The man's eyebrows rise, but he nods slowly. My lieutenant questions whether you understand the nature of our work, Jahan translates. I told him you're intelligent enough to decide for yourself. Your English is excellent, the lieutenant says, switching languages. Jahan SSI speaks highly of you. That is rare. I ask questions, Naomi says carefully. And I need honest answers. What exactly would I be doing? Jahan leans forward. Managing schedules, handling communication, accompanying me to meetings. You'll see things that can't be discussed outside our organization. You'll meet people from various business sectors. Some legal, some not. Can you handle that? I grew up in Atlanta. I've seen plenty. She meets his eyes. But I won't help hurt people. I won't be involved in anything that harms innocent people. That's my line. Agreed. His answer is immediate. My business is built on protection and trade. I don't traffic people or drugs. I don't target civilians. Those are my lines too. The lieutenant smiles slightly. She negotiates. I like her. Over lunch, they explain the structure. Jahan runs the Southeastern Territory for a larger Korean organization. He manages legitimate import businesses while handling protection services for Korean-owned businesses facing discrimination or violence. The gray areas fund community services the government ignores. It's not legal, but it's not the monster Naomi feared. I want Mondays off, she says finally. And I want education benefits. I was 6 months from my nursing degree when I had to drop out. Jahan doesn't hesitate. Done. Anything else? Honesty. Always. If something might put me in danger, I need to know. You have my word. They shake hands. His grip is warm, steady. 2 months later, Naomi sits in Jahan's office reviewing schedules when her half-sister Keisha calls. Dad's in the hospital. Heart attack. They're saying he might not make it. Naomi closes her eyes. Her father abandoned her after her mother died. Chose his new wife and Keisha over their daughter, who looked too much like the woman he lost. But he's still her father. Which hospital? Grady. But Naomi, the bills, insurance lapsed and Keisha's crying. I'll handle it. She ends the call, looks up to find Jahan watching from his doorway. Family emergency? She explains quickly. Jahan listens, then makes a call. 20 minutes later, he's driving her to Grady Memorial in his Mercedes. You don't have to. Your family is your business. Your business is my business now. He glances at her. That's how this works. At the hospital, chaos. Her stepmother is hysterical. Keisha is crying. The financial coordinator is asking about payment for the emergency surgery her father needs. Jahan steps forward, hands over a black credit card. Whatever he needs. Best surgeon available. The coordinator's eyes widen. Sir, The estimated cost is irrelevant. Save his life. 4 hours later, the surgeon emerges. He'll survive. It was close, but he's stable. Naomi's stepmother finally notices her. Naomi, I didn't think you'd come. After everything. He's my father. Simple. True. Her stepmother's face crumples. I'm sorry. For how he treated you. For taking your money and never. She can't finish. Naomi takes her hand. He's alive. That's what matters. Outside in the parking lot, Jahan leans against his car, suit jacket discarded, tie loosened. He looks younger like this. More human. Thank you, Naomi says. For all of it. Your last dollar, he says quietly. You gave me your last dollar without knowing if you'd eat the next day. This is nothing compared to that kind of courage. It's not courage when you don't have a choice. It is when you choose kindness despite having nothing left to give. He faces her. You changed my life that night, Naomi. Not just by helping with the wound. By treating me like a person worth saving. You are worth saving. His smile is soft, devastating. I'm starting to believe that. The next morning, Naomi arrives at work to find her desk covered in university brochures, nursing programs, all offering full scholarships with his company's name attached. You said education benefits, Jahan says from his office door. Choose whichever program you want. You'll work reduced hours to accommodate classes. This is too much. It's exactly right. He crosses to her, serious now. You gave me something no one else in my world offers. You saw me as human. Let me help you reclaim the dream you lost. Please. So she does. She enrolls. She studies. She works beside Jahan, learning the complicated balance of his world, the legitimate and the shadowed, the protection and the power. 6 months after that night in the pharmacy, Naomi stands outside Mercy General Hospital, watching 20 black Mercedes-Benzes line the street. She's here for a meeting with hospital administration. Jahan's organization is funding a new wing for uninsured patients. But the cars, the show of force, makes one thing clear. Part Jahan doesn't do anything small. He steps out of the lead car, spots her, and his entire face transforms with a smile. Too dramatic, he asks. Completely over the top, she agrees. I love it. Because she's learned something in these months. Part Jahan pays his debts with absolute devotion. He saved her life the same way she saved his, completely, without reservation, changing everything. And somewhere along the way, saving each other became something more. Ready? He offers his arm. Always. They walk into the hospital together, the nursing student who gave her last dollar, and the Korean crime boss who never forgot it. Her past is complicated. His present is dangerous. But their future? Their future is something they're building together, one honest moment at a time. And that's worth more than all the money in the world.